can go back to school as well. I was in a panel the other day, and one of the panelists made this very interesting, very simple observation, and he said that in a matter of 15 to 20 years, we've gone from a point where almost all delivery of learning content was in the form of pages and books and paper and what have you, to a point where you never had an ability to understand what were the parts of the content that the students are finding most efficacious, interesting, and learning from that. To a point that we can actually track the bits and pieces at the time, which page is being viewed, for how long, how it's being shared, and so on and so forth, to capture that kind of data and make the most efficacious recommendations of content, and make better diagnostics of skill gaps too. So that's just a beautiful little story over there of the progression that's taken place, and not to mention that also coming in, to help us during the pandemic. But looking forward, I think there's tremendous potential with the appropriate checks and balances in place and the best practices that Mike Hugh and Ashley spoke about, to use that kind of data for good. Like, for example, adaptive learning. It's been this very seductive notion for a long time. It's just not been possible until, I think, some of the breakthroughs in technology that are happening right now. Access you spoke to. I believe automated tutoring is another leveling event, right? So we know all about Bloom's work around the Two Sigma effect. And if you have the right personalized instruction available to you, you can have a Two Sigma improvement in learning outcomes. It's just not scalable, through the course of human history, because it requires, you gotta be wealthy to be able to afford a tutor. But can we get 50% of the way there with AI and some of the access to the data that we can actually get? So those are just a few examples.